source online. Weapons systems online. All systems nominal.
Hello, good evening. Welcome once again to another episode of the Amazing Live Show. I'm Izami and I'm very happy to be here today because we're gonna have another special guest coming onto the show. That's like almost every week, right? Every special guest is coming up to the show. No, every guest that comes on the show is a special person. Every guest special. Okay, never mind. Alright, so anyway, just want to say some shout outs to some folks out here. I can see that we have Zix View watching the stream right now. We also have Natalie. Hello, nice to see you again. What's this? So many messages. I think my bot just went overdrive. I've been testing my chat bot, and making sure that he knows what he's doing. Jarvis, you've been quite naughty. You've been testing and you didn't refresh. I thought I refreshed you and cleared the chat box, but apparently that did not happen. Okay, so let's see, what did you say? I feel especially joyous the whole month of my birthday. Are you like that too? Well, no, this is my birthday month, June, but it's just another month to me. It's just another month, and I'm here just to what do you call it? Find more work. It's just another month, really. It's no cause for celebration, man. Just getting older, that's all. Later your live stream start. I don't type there. Haha, work is good. I will book you soon for the C1P before you get too busy. Yes. You can always message me or drop me an email if you want to have a one-on-one for Capture One. Kaitodes, hello, all the way from Malaysia. Thank you for joining us this evening. Anyone else on the stream? I can see there's quite a bunch of you guys. If you are on the stream, just say hi, so at least I know you are here. Tell me where you're from. Some of you guys are from Singapore, some of you guys from Malaysia, some of you guys from, I don't know. Just tell me which country you're from. If you're from Singapore, tell me which town you're from. Okay, right now because of circuit breaker, right, we have not been able to connect with a lot of people. We haven't been traveling much, or for myself, I've been like a sort of a lockdown. I've been staying at home doing work. I don't get to travel much, even beyond where I live. So yeah, tell me how the weather is like in maybe Toa Payoh or something. I don't know, something like that. So anyway, the other Josh Art. Hey man, thanks for joining me. Wow, Josh is I think he's a D&D Dungeons and Dragon tabletop gamer player or something. Zignafi, Jurong best side. No, I hate Jurong. Screw Jurong. I don't like Jurong. Jurong's a terrible place. I hate that place. Nothing good ever happens to me in Jurong. That's all I can say. Every time I go to Jurong, it's either raining or it's super hot. I can't do what I want. It's a terrible place. So anyway, just a little bit of the routine stuff, just to get it out of the way. All right. This is something I'm trying because I just received my new Stream Deck XL, which some of you guys know I dropped the moment I unboxed it, and there's a big dent on it now. Maybe I'll sell it off cheap to someone. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just gonna try something here. Let's see. Okay, social. There we go. It works. Okay, so right now I don't have to type out anything anymore. I just press one button and my bot will take care of it. So I want to show you guys just a little bit about myself. This is my personal website or my portfolio. This is where I conduct my business dealings, so to speak. All right. You can view my works here. All right. There's also a link to my blog, so you can click on it. You can see my latest thoughts or upcoming events. If I actually go around to updating it, and I promise I'll try my best to do it. Hey Zainov, Tony Stark, yeah man, feels like Tony Stark. I have my Tony Stark sunglasses somewhere, later I'll wear, okay? Because today is a bit special, right? We have a fashion photographer in the house, so I need to look more fashionable. Alright, so this is also a link to my live streaming show, so you can click on it so you can view the Twitch channel as well. This is my Facebook page, so you can actually go over here and see for yourself the latest updates in terms of what the A-MEZ-ING is up to. I used to live stream here as well, but that's no longer the case because Facebook is just not so friendly to normal content creators like me. And recently we had this from the PPAS, and it's actually a letter to tell us what's going on in terms of the photography industry with regards to resumption of businesses. And I'll talk a little bit more about this later on. We'll have a bit of a discussion towards the end of this episode. This is my Twitter channel, or Twitter profile rather. So you can follow my latest works here, or my latest tips and tricks, or even the latest updates to the Amazing Live Show over here as well. And of course, you know, like what I said previously or shown previously before, you can show your support to this channel by following or subscribing, or even better yet, go through the Razer tip stream, use your phone, scan the QR code, and this is what you can do. All right, basically, if you go through this channel, all right, you'll be able to see this page over here. You can what do you call it? Oh, yeah, you can. That's strange. This is not my page. Is it my page? Yeah, it is. Oh, okay. Yeah, so right now this thing is still on beta. So you can see there's previous tippers as well. But if you want, you can actually buy shards through Razer Pay with your Razer Gold through PayPal. I know it's a bit fun, but that's the only way that you can actually support this channel and redeem, get for yourself Razer Silver points, which you can redeem to get this awesome gear. Alright, so I'm talking about things like software, hardware, even the keyboards, the mice, and all that, even the webcam by Razer, it's all possibly up for grabs if you have enough Razer Silver points to, you know, get the necessary value or amount to get the redemption done. All right, so this is something that's all for you guys. It's really awesome. So do give me a follow if you don't want to donate tips. It's okay, it's fine, not necessary, but a follow would be very awesome. All right. So anyway, today we're gonna have a very awesome guest in the show. This is Shavonne Wong's website, alright? So Shavonne Wong is an award-winning fashion photographer with 10 years of experience under her belt, having started out as a self-taught photographer armed only with passion, a diploma in IT, and a dash of stubbornness. Shavonne started her photography career from scratch to what it is today. She is now an ambassador ex-photographer for Fujifilm, a writer for one of the largest photography community websites globally, the F-Stoppers, and was also recently included in the Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia list for 2020. So she is a massive name in the industry. She's a totally well-known among the Fujifilm community as an ex-photographer. She's very well known in the international community as an F-Stopper writer, and ultimately she's very well known because of her beautiful, amazing beauty and fashion photography works. And I am very lucky to actually have her on the show today, because this lady has gone so far out to the New York City, I think, to shoot an amazing and probably high. No, in fact, he's definitely up there, okay. You're talking about Billy Potter. See, it's like, wow, you know, this is like an ultimate achievement. If I were to actually shoot someone with a high profile, something like that, I'll be like, you know. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, so there's more, of course, that she's doing right now, and I just got a bit of a preview, a private preview of what she's been working on, and I can tell you it's gonna blow your minds away. All right, so let's take a look at what she used to work on 6 years ago, because this was a very old trailer, but I'm just gonna play anyway. All right, and after that I'll bring Shavonne on to the live stream. Stand by.
For your love, for your love, for your love,
I'd give you everything and more, and that's for sure.
for your love,
I'd bring you diamond rings and things right to your door.
for your love,
To thrill you with delight, I'd give you diamonds bright. There'll be days that will excite and make you dream of me at night.
for your love, for your
Wow, that was awesome. Okay, Shavonne, you're now live on the Amazing Live Show. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us this evening. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. My
Good.
goodness, that video is old. It's so long.
You know what they say, right? If whatever stays on internet stays on internet. Whatever you put out on internet
Oh,
stays on internet
gosh.
as well. So
No, that's-
was that like a memory lane, you know, walking down memory lane for you when I played that video?
It was, my goodness. You know, that was actually my house.
That was your
was-
house? Really? I thought that was like a studio of sorts. I thought you were
It was
in a studio.
It was in my living room.
No way. You were doing work from home even before we started circuit breaker 4 years ago. Or was it
Yes,
6 years ago
indeed.
or 4 years ago?
Well, this was when was it again?
I think it was 2014, right? So 6 years ago.
6 years. Yeah, because I still live with my parents, and I would rather use my parents' living room than pay for a studio then. So
Oh man. And do you have your own studio now?
now, no. Who wants
No?
the overhead?
Oh yeah, man. The overheads are crazy. Thankfully, people like us are not rich enough to get our own studios because right now it's not a good time to have a studio. And my heart really goes out to all those people who are still having to pay rent because of the circuit breaker. And
Oh my God.
yeah, but it is what it is, and that's just the way it is. So anyway, we do have quite a bunch of people who are watching right now. We have Azo Gal, Siti Rohana, that's from Azo as well, joining in. Hello, good evening, Mez and Shavonne. Greetings from Azo. Hello. Azo is one of the best monitors around. Shavonne, if you need like a demo one day, just head over my place. You can take a look at two of their most powerful monitors out there. Yeah, so this is
I will
really
take you
awesome.
up on it.
Okay, all right. We also have Sai Se Numling. I think he's from Cambodia, or is it Vietnam? I think Cambodia. If I'm not, if memory serves me right. Yeah. Hi. Good evening. Welcome to the channel as well. Sai Se Numling. We also have Josh Art from Singapore. Thank you for joining us as well. And Zainov, thank you so much for the subscription. Yeah, that's really awesome. So anyway, tonight, welcome everyone who's tuning in right now. We have beauty and fashion photographer Shavonne Wong in house. You can see her. She's right here in the flesh. Well, on stream. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I've known you for quite some time now. I think a couple of years, and I think the last time we met was we went for coffee at Haji Lane, and back then we were talking about photography, and that's just the thing about you. I realized that you're so passionate about photography. Everything you do, breathing in and out, the words that come from your mouth is always something to do with photography. But I'm sure there's more to it than just photography, right? I mean, in terms of your life. So let's just share a little bit about who Shavonne Wong is. So tell us more about yourself.
Well, my first introduction was about photography, so I was gonna say I'm a photographer.
But you have a diploma in IT. So how did you go into photography?
Okay, so it was interesting. So since young, when I was much younger, I always wanted to be an animator when I grew up. Like I would watch Pixar shows and I was like, oh, that is so cool. I want to create stuff like that. So I actually went to school wanting to study 3D animation. And then I ended up in TP and ended up studying a course in IT, which in the end probably wasn't the right course for it because like we touched on 3D, but it was a very, very light touch. But I had fun, and I actually, right after school, I was still considering continuing 3D animation. I was planning to go to Vancouver in September that year to continue my studies in it. But basically, what happened was in school, you know how usually internships are 3 months long. For me, my internship was a 1 month long internship in Ireland. So basically, I went to Ireland. I played for 1 month, and then I came back.
Play for 1 month?
Yeah, basically it was that. I barely worked when I was there. It was just all fun and games.
So it's like a holiday of sorts.
It was like a holiday, really was.
Man.
Yeah, so I went to Ireland, I played for a month, and then when I came back, I had a lot of free time and no friends because all of my friends were still doing their internship.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so that was when I was like, okay, I'm super bored. I want to try something new. And that was photography. So yeah, my origin story was because I was bored.
that makes the two of us, to be honest. but it's quite a big jump, from IT to photography. I mean, other than being bored, perhaps there was a trigger that caused you to think of photography. I mean, you could have done painting or stamp collecting or something else. But specifically, why photography? I mean, is it because you saw photos that you like, or is it because you saw a camera that interests you or something?
No, it's definitely not a camera. I'm super not technical. So I think it was really, I was just flipping through magazines one day and I was looking at some fashion photography photos and I thought to myself, it can't be that hard.
Can't be that hard. Were those like famous last words now?
Young and naive. It can't be that hard. So I was like, I'll just try.
Press button only, so easy. Just open lens cap and shoot.
Yeah, it's like, can't be that hard. So like I just started and like, basically what happened was I started photography in January 2010, and I really enjoyed it. It was quite fun,
Right.
and like, cause right from the beginning, the photos I saw was fashion photos, so immediately my first direction I was going towards was already fashion photography. So I never really did the whole I'll try portrait shooting, event shooting that route. It was straight away I want to try fashion photography. So that was the route I went, and like for the first few months, it started to going pretty well. Like I got fairly good attention. So I told my dad, why not you give me a year in photography? Let's see how this goes, because I don't want to end up going to Vancouver, spending all your money, and then end up doing something totally different. So he told me, okay, you have a year, and the year just never ended.
Oh, so your parents were actually quite supportive. They didn't say no immediately, and they just went like, you try it and see how it goes, Shavonne. Let's see how deep the rabbit hole goes, and then go for it. That's very nice of them. I think that's very cool. Yeah.
My parents were very, very supportive. I would not be here without their support. That is definitely for sure.
Yep. And when you started shooting fashion, I mean, pretty sure that you have to connect with people like makeup artists, models, and things like that. Did you just go out there and find friends to be your models first, or did you just hire models from the get-go?
So like for my first shoot, I actually got my sister. So my very first shoot, basically all I did was I dragged my sister, I booked a studio, and we just went for it. Like I had no idea what I was doing. I borrowed my ex-boyfriend's camera. I was in the studio. I think it was I think it's probably CRC studio actually.
Oh wow! At Clarke Quay?
I think so.
Yeah,
and
a long time,
I
yes.
basically told the guy like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Can you just help me put up lights? So he did. And then I got my sister standing in front of me, and we just took a bunch of photos. And I was like, oh shit, that was fun.
and it worked out.
Yeah, and it worked out. So like, I think I did a few like test shoots with like models on Model Mayhem. About 5-6 test shoots, and then from there on, I actually emailed a model agency. I said, this is my very sad looking portfolio, but I didn't say sad, it's just my small little portfolio. I would like to test with your models if possible. And they said, okay, and that was my way in.
And then after that, they call you back to do more shoots or something like that, or do you have to,
Well, I definitely did a lot more tests with their models after that, just to build my portfolio to a standard where actually anybody will hire me.
And this is probably something that's on the mind of some of the viewers, especially those who are still at the precipice of wondering whether should I just go get real models or should I just continue working with friends. Is it better to get those models to rent to hire them, not rent, hire the models, rent equipment, because they don't have money yet and all that, and then just starting it slow, or is it gonna make more sense to actually work with just friends first?
Personally, I say if you want to do fashion photography, go straight to the models. And honestly, for most agencies, they will always have beginner models. They will have always have models who just sign, and they always need photos for these models. Yep. So if you can take a decent enough photo, like decent exposure, the photo doesn't look like shit, it's decent.
Yep.
Most model agency will be open to letting you test with their models. Well, I mean, don't aim for the highest agencies first. Start the more lower end agencies, and then from there on, you test with their models, and then you slowly work your way up.
Right.
Having a good model will make humongous difference in your photos, and I would highly recommend just emailing as soon as you can. As soon as your basic portfolio is, email into any agency. Just say, this is my work. I would love to test with your models. And if they say no, I mean, like, it's just ask, no big deal. And if they say yes, you got your way in. So I will always say, just try asking.
Yeah.
You never know what they say.
Exactly. I think the most important step right now is to make the attempt. Just try, right?
Exactly.
So right now, I understand that you and your husband are, both hunkered out together because of circuit breaker and all that. Let's talk a little bit about him. Both of you are into martial arts, if I recall.
Yes.
Yes, and but he doesn't do photography, does he?
No. I am the creative of the family. The crazy. We need a more sane person around here, so he's the sane one.
He's the sane one, but he's very supportive of photography.
Yes, he is.
And I think you probably agree with me that when it comes to photography, it can sometimes be a lonely business, but having someone who understands and supports you, it's a very vital thing to have. Like my wife, she doesn't do photography. I always have to convince her, hey, that camera is good, I'm gonna upgrade, and she goes like, how much? Then there's the justification and all that part, how it is. But I think it's quite a blessing to be surrounded by people, your parents, your husband, who are very supportive of your endeavor into the photography industry. Yeah, that's really awesome. Okay, so I know this is something that is quite prevalent, and I think it's very silly, but there's this belief that the photography industry is totally male dominated. And how do you feel about it on a personal or professional level?
Honestly, yes, but I don't really know why. Like, females can shoot too. Why aren't you shooting? I don't really know why there aren't more females in the industry. Like, to me, the only thing that's a bit harder as a female in the industry, just equipment is heavy and it is tiring to carry it. But other than that, there is really no reason why a female can't be a photographer.
Yep. I completely agree. I've come across so many female photographers who are really awesome at their job. From overseas and even local. Emily's one of my friends and she's really fantastic. I hope she's watching right now. I did tell her, you should watch Shavonne. She's very inspirational. We've got Rain Robin, Bella Kotak. We have who else? Emily Soto, Lindsay Adler. So many wonderful female photographers. So it's just, in Singapore, I would say that you're one of the few prolific ones. I know there's Mandy Ong, if I recall. There's Vernon Ong as well. But you are like going all out. You're so successful in your genre of photography, and that's really awesome. And I hope that you can become like this beacon of light that tells other female photographers, step out and start shooting and get recognized. So hats off to you on that. Okay, my cap's still on, but hats off to you.
Yeah, if you're gonna say it.
But very curious to know. I mean, like in the world of commercial photography, we can do all kinds of things: product photography, automobile, food photography, quite popular in Singapore right now because Singapore a lot of food, I guess. But why fashion and why beauty photography?
Well, I guess for me, the reason why I was attracted to fashion to start with was the fact that I could really just do anything I want. Like, to me, fashion is a fantasy, sort of. Like, as long as the clothes look good, I can literally do anything I want. I can throw any light I want. I can put rabbit ears on her if I want. I can do anything. So for me, like, the difference between like fashion compared to something like documentary to me is, it has its place, clearly important. But the difference is that it's documenting something that's going on. For me, I enjoy creating something that I want, I guess. Yeah, so to me, fashion was the best way to create beautiful image in the way I wanted to.
So it's sort of like a canvas. You just want to paint and try something out and interpret your own messages through creative means.
True. Yep. That.
So let's take a look at one of your works shot for Cosmopolitan HK. And again, this is like a walk down memory lane. All right,
Yes.
stand by.
Where would I find someone like you? Even when the stars stole, you shine through. Lose your grip and cut your preaching. Drop your leashes, do it for me. Baby girl, no need for your pleasantry. I've been waiting with open arms to come through. I've been waiting with open arms to come through. It feels good when I am falling in love. I've been waiting with open arms to come through. I've been waiting with open arms to come through. It's all true, that's what you really deserve.
Wow, that was just brilliant. It feels so alive, somehow when you look at the work, the way the video flows, you just feel like, I want to be a part of that shoot right now. But it's just the way Shavonne is, isn't it? It's like go get there, do something fun and edgy, and then just try it out. Get a model to lie down on the floor, get some overhead shots and things like that. It just goes all out, you know, no longer the conventional stay behind the camera, shoot in the studio, but here you are pushing your boundaries to get the shots in. I think that's really amazing. And frankly speaking, I maybe because I'm not really in the fashion industry, but I don't really see a lot of people doing this via social media and getting their works out as much as you do. So maybe you could just talk a little bit about social media. How do you use social media to market yourself?
Well, I mean, there's many ways, I guess. There's so many different platforms that are out there. For me, I use Instagram because maybe I feel like Instagram is one of those social media platforms that are very good for visual people. Like how Twitter is good for text, I think Instagram is good for visuals. And so for me, like I use Instagram quite a lot just to put my work out there and share a lot of my work. I mean, I have a Facebook account that I post once in a while when I remember to. I think it can be a bit overwhelming when there's just so many different platforms to use. Like there is like Behance. How do you pronounce it?
I have no idea. Behance?
Behance.
Behance. Let's go with Behance because like Beyonce, you know, like Behance. I think it's Behance.
There's like
Yeah.
Facebook, and then there's Instagram, and then there's so many different platforms that I feel like you can easily get tired.
Yeah.
From posting in all of them, and I feel like it is important to know what you're good in. If you're good with words, use words to describe your pictures. If you're not good with words, then do images straight. So give me 1 second. I need to let my cat out of the room.
Okay. Yeah, I saw your cat just now. It's okay.
Oh,
That's the thing about cats. They always want to be part of the show. I love cats.
like sometimes he wants to be in, sometimes he wants to be out. It's hard to tell.
Oh, that's okay. I actually have a stray cat that I take care of, one of the community cats. Recently he's been hanging around my corridor and I think he kind of misses us. So now he's like trying to paw his way in, but my mom, because we live with my mom and she's afraid of cats. So now the problem is he's always hanging outside the gate and wondering, do I go in or do I just terrorize the family from here? Oh man, but cats are like, they have their own style. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this cat has his mind of his own.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell what he wants half the time.
Mm.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
social media.
Social
I
media.
feel like for me, I use Instagram. At least on Instagram, I feel like I have some sort of consistency. It's really up to knowing yourself, I guess. If you are able to be consistent then in a few different platforms, good for you. But if you are not, I think it's better to stick to the few platforms that you can be consistent in.
So I take it that you prefer to only have maybe Instagram and Facebook to a certain extent, just to promote your works, rather than going around with all the various different social media platforms. There's Twitter, Periscope, I don't know what else, TikTok. Yeah, oh my god, so many platforms right now. And I don't know about you, but do you ever suffer from social media burnout?
Yeah. That's why sometimes I just schedule my Instagram posts instead of actually posting them on my own. Usually what I do is I'll schedule up to a month's worth and I'll like sit down for an hour and think of captions and then like make sure I tag all the right people, make sure I give the right credits.
Yep.
And then for the next month or so, I don't have to worry about my Instagram. Like when the post goes up, like and I get comments, I try to reply as much as possible. But other than that, having this scheduler helps me to be less frustrated, I guess, and like it feels like less work. I get to concentrate on my work as opposed to concentrating on like, I need to post now. So yeah, I feel like the concentration is on the better part of the art.
Yep. And I think it's very important as creatives to kind of like pace yourself, because I've seen it before, even for myself, when I push too hard with social media and all that. I just after a while I just go like, I don't feel like doing this anymore. I don't want to post on social media. It's so tiring. So I think just want to share, maybe this resonates with you as well, but I used to have a few social media accounts. I even tried TikTok and all that, but sometimes I just step back and just realize that no, this is not my target audience. I don't think I want to do this anymore, so I just pull out. Do you experience something like that as well?
Not really, just because I haven't tried that many social media platforms.
It's like carpet bombing. Just try,
Yeah, it's tiring. It's definitely very tiring to keep trying to reach out to that many people in all the different platforms. Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of styles and all that, I've been following your work, you know, not like a stalker at that lah, but as a fan for a while now. And I noticed that you have a rebranding midway through. I think it was 2 years ago. Or is it last year? I can't recall. When I first met you, it was Ziffy Photography, but now it's Shavonne Wong. So why the change?
Well, the start at the beginning, Ziffy Photography came along because my Chinese name was Zifeng.
Ah,
So-
okay.
Yeah, but you know, it was weird at the beginning. I didn't really want to use my name because it felt awkward, and I was, you know, an awkward person. So I just didn't really feel super comfortable using my name then.
Mhm.
So I came up with Ziffy Photography. But in the recent years, I started having clients who have no idea who Shavonne is, and they expect Zippy. So I realized that there was a confusion there, and I decided just use my name. So it was a bit uncomfortable, but I got over it.
Ah, so your name is now basically your brand identity as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and before that was just Ziffy, but I guess it works out for you very well because ever since you made the switch to Shavonne Wong, your name appears anywhere and everywhere. I mean, like F-stoppers, identify you as Shavonne Wong. Your works are identified as Shavonne Wong Photography, and it just grows. You know, I think it's like a, what do you say, good feng shui or something.
It is definitely more cohesive. I mean, to be honest, I had many other more experienced photographers tell me to change it to Shavonne. So I finally heeded their advice, which I could have used doing earlier, but you know, I was stubborn and naive, but I learned to just use my name and be an adult about it.
And who would you say greatly influenced you to make the change? Any particular photographer?
Well, I mean, when I was starting out, I used to talk to this photographer, Chris Ong, quite a bit, so he told me to change it then. And then I've met a few other photographers who told me, like, well, when we were in that discussion about it, they also told me about it. And then with Jeff Ang, my mentor, he also told me about it. So yeah, I finally did
After
it.
3 photographers tell you to change, you finally changed.
It took a while, but yes, I did it.
And I think it's always good to hear from mentors or even the more experienced photographers if they have an idea or a plan that, you know, is probably beneficial for you, and if we just sit down and stop to think about it and listen, maybe it is really for the better of our business. Yeah. So for those viewers at home, if you have someone who thinks who is within the industry, someone up there, you know, someone who actually holds a high influence, maybe if they start to tell you something, you should listen. You know. Yeah, I think that's one of the best advice someone actually gave to me also. Let's start listening, because sometimes those tips can change the way you do things and can lead you to a path of success. Okay, so let's talk about technical gear. Now I know you don't like talking about technical stuff, but let's keep it simple. Let's talk about what's inside your bag, and also what's on your computer, because I know for a fact that you started going beyond photography. So let's just talk about your camera first. Okay, so what do you shoot with? Oh, sorry. Let's start with the beginning. What was your first camera?
To be completely honest, I don't really remember my first camera because that first camera did not last very long.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but like the first camera that I can remember was a Canon.
Mm-hmm.
And I used I also don't remember which was the first Canon, but then I moved on to a Canon 5D Mark II, and that was the one that I used for majority of my career.
Mm-hmm.
Only in the recent years, then I switched to Fuji.
Right.
And now, yeah, I use the GFX new format camera.
And massive congratulations to you for being an ex-photographer with Fujifilm, a brand ambassador. That's a high achievement right there. And you're shooting, you know, last time you started with maybe APS-C and full frame, then suddenly boom, video format. That's a massive jump right there. So do you happen to have your camera with you?
I currently don't have my GFX 100 with me, but I have a GFX 50 with me, which is in my bag. I can take it out.
Literally, what's in your bag right now?
You know what? I'll just show it.
Okay. Okay, guys.
This is my usual bag that I carry around.
Mm-hmm.
I look like the Ninja Turtle when I carry it. This is my tether tools wire, very important.
Yes.
I always have it on set, and I have backups with it also.
Mm-hmm.
This is my GFX that I use quite often.
Mm-hmm.
And then with it, I have This lens is the 110. I use this a lot for my beauty work. Let's see what this is. This is the 45. I use it for slightly wider shots. And this one is the... Whoops. Give me 1 second.
Don't drop anything.
This is the 63. So I use this one for a lot of face shots.
This guy just came off.
Yeah. And then in my bag over here, I also have my... for the A1
Oh.
that I always carry with me. Just so I have one extra light. And also some little toys that I got from Kickstarter.
What's that?
It's for... I
Oh,
forget
wait.
the word, but you know, you put it in front of your lens and you get cool bouquets.
Ah, very, very,
Yeah.
very interesting. So it's like a lens distortion kind of device.
Yeah. I got this years ago from Kickstarter.
I
And like some other crystals that Jeff Ang had lent to me that I forgot to return. Yeah, so that's basically what's in my bag, along with my laptop, but I'm currently using it for this live stream.
Yep.
So
That was a nice wild ride, going. It's like.
yeah, it was
But
a
thank
bit
you for
messy.
sharing what's inside your bag, and it looks like a very massive bag, the f-stop bag.
Yes, that's the f-stop bag. It is massive, but it is like I carry everything in one go.
Awesome.
And it's nice to have it as a backpack. I think it's better for the body.
Yep. Okay, so anyway, for those viewers at home, if you're watching right now, you have any questions for Shavonne, just type in inside the chat box and I'll try to moderate them and bring it up to Shavonne along the way. So anytime you have a question on fashion photography or beauty photography, or even like how she finds the GFX50, for example, just pop it inside the chat box and we'll go through them one by one. Okay, so quick question: how did you become an ex-photographer?
So this was interesting. I remember I was talking. So I was supposed to have a trip to Philippines, and I was googling on the photographers who were there.
Yep.
I was supposed to have a trip to Cebu. Basically, my husband wanted to go for a meeting there, and I was like, bring me. So I was like, bring me, and I wanna do a shoot when I'm there. And he was like, fine. So I was googling for photographers in Cebu. And I came across Ian Gonzalez, and so I made a mental note to drop him a note to ask, who are the, models, makeup artists I can work with there. And strangely, in less than an hour, while thinking that he actually messaged me, and during this period we've never met, we don't know each other, but he messaged me that he was coming to Singapore. And he's looking for models and makeup and wardrobe to.
So it's like an exchange kind of thing.
And it was the weirdest thing. So like he messaged me and said he wanted to look for makeup artists and stylists to work with. So I replied, obviously, gave him a few good people that I knew was reliable. And so he came to Singapore and he did his workshop. And so while he was in Singapore, we met for coffee.
Right.
And we were just talking, and he was telling me like he's an ex-photographer, and he was like, what do you do? Like, what kind of photography do you do? And then we had a good chat, and he said, I'm gonna introduce you to the people in Fuji. And I was like, cool. And that was my entry into Fuji. It was fun.
Yeah, so, sounds like a very nice origin story, to complement an autobiography someday.
Yeah, it was cool. It was quite a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that little 1 hour where I was about to message him, but he messaged me first it was very weird, because I remember thinking to myself, did I accidentally press like or something? Like, did I accidentally do something that I didn't know? Like, how did he know?
Is it
It
like
was
I would say serendipity? Is that the word? Sort
Yeah,
of?
I guess so. I was more freaked out than I was serendipitous, but yeah, it was interesting.
And what software do you use right now for your photography works?
So I use Capture One. Capture One is my go-to for tethering.
Yay.
So obviously I connect with my tether tools to my camera, and when I do my shoots, I always use Capture One, because Capture One allows me to do on-the-spot edits that can apply to all my shots, which means clients need to imagine less, which is great because clients aren't great at imagining.
It does make a difference, shooting a tethered, regardless of what software you use, to actually have the clients to be able to view on screen what you've shot. I mean, like, I noticed that you have your tether tools cable anywhere and everywhere. Do you ever go back to just shooting SD cards only?
Not if I have a choice. I mean, sometimes when I'm doing an outdoor shoot and my laptop battery can't last that long outside that, and it's like a editorial shoot for myself, like more personal test, then I will sometimes just go without tethering. But if I have a choice, I will always tether, mostly because it is helpful for also my makeup artist and my stylist to be able to see the images on the screen. And I can zoom in for them to see like, the makeup here, the lashes here. For my stylist to see how the outfit looks from my point of view instead of from their angle. They can see if anything needs to be adjusted. And everything that can be adjusted on set will save me so much time than doing it in post.
Yeah. And I think it just looks more professional, right? To be able to showcase your works immediately as opposed to waiting and downloading from your camera onto your SD card, and then after that, loading it up on the software again in weeks.
Yeah.
Too much time is wasted. Yeah.
It's also important for checking focus to make sure that the shot you think to yourself that like, I saw that shot, I think that's the great shot. To then load it in and realize that shot was not in focus.
Man.
So heartbreaking.
Yeah, I think that's the pitfall of most photographers. When they shoot, they just go pop, and then after that you realize that, whoa, 100 shots all blur. Wow, heart pain. Heart pain. and
like especially when you're using a GFX and each file size is so big. Ooh.
Oh man, I can relate to that. 100 megapixel files here.
yeah, painful.
Okay, so what lights do you use? I mean, I saw a Profoto A1 just now.
So I use Profoto lights. I have an A1 and I have B2s, which I haven't used in a while, but they're in my storeroom. Okay. So like Profoto lights are the lights that I am most comfortable with, because in the studio that I shoot most often in, they also use Profoto.
Yep.
And I like that user interface is so simple. And sorry, I need to let my cat in.
Okay, no problem. Anyway, for those who are tuning in right now, thank you so much for joining me. Final Fantasia, hello, welcome to the channel. Again, you guys, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask in the chat box and I'll try to get back to you through Shavonne, of course. So anytime you have any questions, just pop them into the chat box and I'll get on them as soon as I can. Alright? Okay, Shavonne, welcome back. Is your cat with you right now?
Yes, my cat is here now.
Where is the cat? Let's get the cat to say hi to all the viewers at home right now.
He's a cute
one. Look at that. It's a big cuddly boy.
You know what? Look, puppy.
Cat, you gotta look at the webcam. He's looking elsewhere. There we go. It's like now I don't know who's the star of the show. Is it Shavonne, me, or the cat?
Me.
What's the cat's name?
The cat's name is Lottie. It stands for Sir Lancelot.
Oh wow, such a big, like, I think some folks my wife is just saying that it's so fluffy, and Kaito says chonkers.
Yeah. He's very fluffy right now because we can't bring him to the groomer. So like the fluffiness, that fur is really everywhere. My goodness.
Oh no.
So we deal with it.
It's okay. It's a fluff chunk.
It is a very fluffy chunk.
Very fluffy chunk. Okay, so back to your lighting. What's your favorite modifier for beauty shots?
Hard question. I guess I like the Octa, because the Octa is such an easy go-to for flattering light. I think Octa would be an easy go-to, although the one modifier that happens always on my set is actually not really a modifier. I usually have one light hitting to the white wall behind me just to make a very nice feel.
Yeah.
And that setup is in nearly all of my shoots.
Okay. Alright, so in a typical shoot, how would you say you plan your shoot in terms of pre-production, how you bring your team together, and the kind of logistics, or what kind of logistics pain do you encounter, the difficulties of bringing people together, etc., and how do you get it all set up?
So firstly, I guess it depends on what my concept is. So for some shoots, I have my concept first, and some shoots I actually look through the models available and I get inspired by the model itself. So it depends. So like, but on a regular basis, I guess most of the time I would have come across a few images and you know, as a photographer, I think you should always have a bunch of reference images and
Yep.
saved images of what you like. So sometimes when you see a lot of images and your subconscious kind of links a few images together in your head, and you start to think, "Ooh, this would look very nice together," the concept starts to build. And from there on, the first person I usually speak to is my stylist. I will come up with a few concepts. I'll show my stylist. We'll talk about it. And I'm big on collaboration, so a lot of times I also tell the people I work with that I give them kind of free rein. Just this is my concept. Let me see what you can do. So usually the first person I talk to will be my stylist, and then I will bring on a makeup artist. These two are my mains. Once that is done, we would then choose a model together, deciding which model would be most suitable for this look, and then for the smaller shoots, that's kind of it. I will just book a studio and we'll just go for it.
Yeah.
For a bigger shoot, I guess it's just we'll have more models. If there's a client involved, we'll definitely do casting for the models. And then depending on what's necessary, we'll get assistance. If I don't have enough equipment or the studio doesn't have, we'll do it with extra rental. Sometimes we throw in a hairstylist, sometimes we throw in a nail technician, sometimes we throw in a digitech. There's just so many people that we can
It adds up, basically.
A set designer, we can throw in so many people. So it really depends on what the shoot needs.
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes a videographer, behind the scenes person, you know. So it basically the priority for me is always like the first two priority will be model makeup, because this is the basic for a beauty shoot. If there's a fashion shoot, then it's model, makeup, and stylist. These are the most important. Everything else on top of that is luxury.
So in terms of your setup, how massive can it be?
Well, depends on the budget, I guess.
The biggest one so far to date?
Well, the biggest one I've ever been on was for Asia's Next Top Model. Yeah, and well, it was a lot of people, I guess. A lot of people.
And what inspires you for some of your setups? Because I see through your works, some setups are like very, very simple, and some of them can be really grand and all that. So in terms of, I mean, just now you did mention that you do look at photos and stuff like that from previous works or even elsewhere, but what can actually be used as source of inspiration for your works? Movies, comics?
Everything can be some sort of inspiration, right? I mean, like, it's very, it sounds very cliche, but like, I feel like anything from a creative can always be a form of a way to get inspired. That's why, like, when the circuit breaker first happened, I spent my first month just playing games. And I didn't feel very guilty because I was convincing myself that, you know, it was done by a creative person. Maybe I will get some creativity out of it. I could get inspired by it. So I didn't feel very guilty when I spent like way too much time playing games for the first month. But yeah, I feel like you can easily get inspired by really anything. It's because so many things I feel like concepts of art shouldn't be directly copied. I feel like it should be something that you collect in your head as subconscious, and then you build a map of it in your head, and it all comes together as something that you visually create on your own.
Agreed.
So I think it's more about collecting all this creativity from other creative sources and not being so stressed about like I'm looking for inspiration, but more of like I enjoy reading this book, I enjoy playing this game, I enjoy listening to this music, I enjoy watching this show, and enjoy it. And I feel like as you enjoy it, certain things go into your subconscious of what you're drawn to, and then from there you just build on that.
Yeah, sounds good. Like a sponge, right? I think this echoes with one of my previous speakers, Moya from Luxembourg. He actually spoke about how we should be like sponge, absorbing whatever we see, and then after that, giving it a little bit of whirl and trying it out and making it our own or some sort like that. You know, I think it's very important not to limit ourselves to just one form of inspiration, but rather to see whatever the world has to offer. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
And what was your most, I would say, most difficult shoot ever?
Most difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think. To be honest, honest, nothing really stands out, I guess. I mean, I have shoots that I'm more stressed out about, but I wouldn't say I have shoots that are more difficult. Yeah. So like obviously the bigger client, the more stressed out I am. But so far I haven't had any like super difficult clients. So and when I say difficult shoot, I think the first thing I'll think about is like difficult clients.
Okay, maybe I could have paraphrased that question better to just no, but
Like is
in
it technical difficulty or client difficulty?
okay, client difficulty.
Client difficulty mostly is clients who are not very creative, and like I've got clients come up to me before who are like, I want something like this picture. Do you have anything in your portfolio that looks similar? I was like, yes, I have images that look similar. So I showed her the pictures, and then she was like, oh, but in your reference she's not smiling. And I was just like, but the lighting looks the same. I did not shoot that image, so obviously I don't have that exact image. It's sometimes it's just a
Small little gritty things, I guess that kind of affects the mood for the day.
yeah, sometimes it's the communication that can get difficult.
Right.
And that's why I feel like a lot of times there's the more prep you have before your shoot, the simpler the shoot will go. Because sometimes even if you talk to the client a lot and you tell them, so for this shoot the concept is moody, yes, and they're like, yes, the concept is moody. You turn up on set, you realize the word moody in your head means something very different in their head. And that's why I think the preparation of visual stuff is always very important. I always tell the clients like, I need references, I need your references, I need you to sometimes find some references of what you think first before I can build a reference board on top of that. Because in your head, what edgy is and what edgy is to me is very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like if we go on set with a good set of images that we both agree this is the concept and the look we are going for, it makes the shoot a lot more smoother.
And I think ultimately it's all about communication. To actually have a clear line of communication between the photographer and the client can really help with preparation for the shoot, so that everyone's on the same page during the actual shoot. There's no misinterpretation. And I think what you just brought up just now is very important, to actually have visual representations for the communication, like maybe reference images or something like that. So curious, how do you go about collecting all this and delivering it to the client to let them understand that so that everyone's on the same page?
Well, I guess firstly you have to have a good library of safe references. So like I would say in a concept, in the start I would say like, okay, this is the general mood we're going for, so there'll be a bunch of references, and then makeup references, styling references, lighting references, and so like there's a general, but then there's also sections that make it a bit more specific, because like just because you can find the makeup in that image, you like the makeup in the image, the image might not be in the right lighting, in the right mood, the person might be giving the different vibe, but that makeup is what you want. So you have a bunch of photos using similar-ish makeup, like eyeliner, red lips. So you have a set of images that's like eyeliner, red lips, you're like, this is just the makeup look. And then the next set is like, I want to have maybe color gels. So like you have lighting references of color gels. So that way the when the client sees like, oh, this is the overall look, but this is the makeup that we're going for, this is the hair we're going for, this is the lighting we're going for, it becomes a bit more clearer for them. Even though they need to imagine a bit, at least it's clearer of what you're trying to show them.
Yeah. And at least at the end of the day, the understanding is there. And I think someone actually commented, Tomo Hitogo said clients tend to want the same thing that you present because they want what they see. So that is the danger. And I kind of agree, because at the end of the day, if you can't deliver what they want to see, then that's a problem in itself. So for those viewers at home who are thinking of going into fashion photography or even any kind of photography, like what Shavonne said, it's very important to make preparations before any shoot, because this will actually be your lifeline during the actual shoot itself. And I think on the set, you probably have mood boards and things like that, so that your client will be able to make. You and your clients can both make references to the kind of look that you want to present. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So I also noticed that over time you started to go into videography, and this is like an evolution of sorts. Thinking back on the past, would you tell yourself to go and do videography straight away, or would you say going photography first is better?
Well, I mean, videography has a huge learning curve, and I mean, I guess there's no point telling me when to start it. It's anytime I start it will it'll be hard anyway. But of course, if I started earlier, I feel like I'll be more experienced in it. But then again, what would I be trading that time off with in the terms of photography, right? So it's always a hard thing to say. But when it comes to videography, I'm just glad I had a lot of great people that I collaborated with. People were willing to work with me to try out new things, who also brought their 100% on set sometimes, so like we could both be creative together. So what was your question again?
Would you go back in time and do videography first instead of photography?
No, I don't think so. I mean, again, I don't think that it makes any sense to think about it that way anyway. And again, what would I have traded off in terms of like where I am in my photography compared to the video? So when I started was the time I started. But yeah, I don't think I'll go back to change. I think when I started was the time I needed to start.
I think everything happens for a reason, and I think this is probably the best path to take in terms of evolution.
Yeah, I think everything you just learn, every mistake is a experience of what you wouldn't do in the future anyway. So I don't think anything is a total actual waste of time.
Yep. Okay, let's take a look at your website, shall we? Maybe you can share your screen, because I'd like to ask you about your 3 most iconic photos that defines Shavonne Wong photography.
3? That's hard.
Or any of your favorites, maybe top 10 or something like that.
Like everything that's on my front page is all my favorites. Does that work?
Sure. Oh, and I see that you've got one of your living stills up in the front as well.
Yeah, so I have like
We see Billy Porter as well.
Yes, of course, Billy Porter must make the front page.
Of course. And well, maybe you have all this as your favorites in front, but let's talk a little bit about your days in Asia's Next Top Model as a shooter. How was that like? I mean, was it really tough, or was it like the most challenging one ever?
So Asian Next Top Model was the incredible experience. I had so much fun. The crew actually treated me really, really nicely. It was very nice. I was very, very comfortable. Obviously, there was stress in the terms of like, oh my god, my images are going to go on like TV. So there was that stress, but they actually gave me a lot of free rein on what I wanted to do, how I wanted to light it, how I wanted to shoot it. So I really actually enjoyed the experience. And everybody was very nice to me, so
That's awesome.
I don't really have much to complain about. It was the only hard thing, I guess, was that the shoot would be the first day, which would be like a whole day shoot where I will shoot through a lot of the models, and then we will go through overnight editing. Because the next day is judging, so the overnight editing is a bit tiring, but I guess worth it.
Awesome. And just curious, do you still have some of the photos from Asia's Next Top Model in your portfolio? Maybe you can look at some of them.
So this one over here was from Asia Next Top Model Cycle 5, I believe.
Yep.
Not sure where the rest are. I guess under fashion. You should have told me I would have prepared for the Asian Next Top Model photos.
Surprise!
No, I still haven't. Yeah, it's not here. Actually, let me just go to my Dropbox then.
Sure.
Do I remember where it is?
That's a lot of work.
Oh my gosh, I can't remember where I left it. I don't remember. Yeah, shit.
It's okay.
Sorry.
No worries. I think that one example is good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
But
Sorry.
it's okay. Anyway, it was one of those like surprise questions I thought of following up for your work, but it's all right. But I'm very, very sure there are quite a few audience at home who are very curious to know, how do you land yourself the gig for Asia's Next Top Model?
To be completely honest, I have no idea. Like, they emailed me. like I got an email from them like asking me if I was interested for a reality TV, and I was like, sure. And then they were like, we're Asian top model. I'm like, cool. Okay.
were you how do you feel when you first received the email?
Shocked. I was pretty shocked. Yeah, I was pretty shocked. I mean, I don't think I was much successful then yet, so I wasn't sure how they even found me, but I was very, very honored and very happy when they decided to actually go with me.
Right. And I guess, could it be because you already have your website up, you know, your portfolio up with your contact details? That could be the possibility of how they reached out to you in the first place?
Definitely. I mean, like, if you have your website on, you better have your contact details on it.
Oh yes, we had this discussion yesterday, remember? Like some people, they have their website and portfolio, so beautiful works, but there's no way to contact you. How do we reach out to you? You know, clients will be like so frustrated.
So I always make sure I have my contact page, and also like to give them a place where they can send in the email. So make sure that's there.
Yeah.
If you don't have a contact page, I don't know how you expect to get work. I would have an email available if people want to email in. So
yes,
make sure it's easy to be contacted. Don't make a client have to run around and Google you just so they can give you work. That's not gonna happen.
Yes. And I think having a very clean website is very important thing, because once you have everything organized, you know, like your latest works in front, and you categorize your work like what you do here: fashion, beauty, celebrity, lifestyle, living stills, commission, video, and the most important thing is a little bit about yourself as well under the about section. You know, I think this actually makes the client have an easier time trying to understand who is the photographer behind these shots, and most importantly, of course, is a contact link, you know, at least an email address. So, and make sure the email address works, because I have encountered working with some people and their email addresses doesn't exist.
The emails bounce.
Yeah, the email bounce. This is so frustrating, you know, because I want to collab with you, or I want to work with you, or I want to hire you, but I can't reach out to you, and the moment that happens, you lose the probability of the work.
Like having to, like, I remember, cause whenever I go overseas and I try to do overseas shoots, I always try and contact stylists and makeup artists to work with, and sometimes you have to go through like going through LinkedIn, going to their Instagram, and sending them a DM just to get to them. It's a bit like, I don't know, why are you so hard to contact? Don't you want work?
Exactly right.
It's confusing.
And I think it's very important to actually have your contact details up, so people can reach out to you. Yeah.
Definitely.
And I think even for Instagram, I feel that those people who rely excessively on Instagram, do check your outbox as well, because not outbox. What's that?
There's DM, the direct message place.
Yeah, there's another space for those unknown people reaching out to you. Sometimes it's like spam and
message
stuff.
requests.
Message request. That's right. And sometimes you get an opportunity for work there as well. So do take note of those things as well. Once in a while, check your spam folder, because sometimes, you know, clients, their domain might be an unknown, and it will probably appear in your spam folder, because this is just opportunity. So yeah, that's how I feel. All right. Okay, so before the pandemic happened, you somehow managed to shoot this very flamboyant character, Billy Potter. How did that happen?
So like I said, before I go for my trips, I usually send in a lot of emails. So before this New York trip, I actually sent out probably 1,000 emails to a lot of people with a lot of follow-ups. With every email I sent out, I had up to 4 or 5 follow-ups just to, you know, get in their face, I guess. Because people forget to reply. It happens. I forget to reply sometimes too. So so I actually reached out to one of their managers, and I said, like, you know, I'm coming to New York. I would love to shoot Reporter if he's available and interested, and this is my portfolio, this is my work. Would you guys like to work together on this? And they were like, yes. And I was like, wow. Oh, okay.
Wow.
So I was very surprised, but yeah, it worked out. It was so. The interesting thing was, a few years ago, I would have never sent out this many emails nor followed up this many times. But my husband, he's a business person, so he was the one who told me, you know, if you don't ask, you'll never know. And emailing is free.
Yeah.
And don't worry about being annoying. Just send follow-ups. Obviously, don't send 5 follow-ups in one day. Send like the first, send the first follow-up in maybe 5 days, the second follow-up in 2 weeks, and then the third follow-up in a month. So you see, you start
you pace yourself.
much early on. And yeah, so that's what I actually did. I sent out emails to people who I didn't think would even reply to me, but they did. And I got opportunities that I wouldn't think that I would get, but I did because I asked. Yeah.
Could you share some of your shots of Billy Potter then?
Yeah, so this image here was with Billy Potter, actually in Under Celebrity, yes. Yeah, so these are my images with Billy Potter.
Cool.
It was in a beautiful studio, my goodness.
Yeah,
Look at the
I can see that.
it. Yeah, so this shoot was very, very interesting. Right from the start, when I first knew that I was going to shoot him, I was like, oh my god, shit, I need to come up with a really good concept for this. So the story of Billy Potter is he's this black gay guy who never really hid who he was, even though he started out acting and he was limited to his roles because of his personality of the person he chose to portray. But he never hid it in order to get more work, which was, I think, something that was very inspiring to me. And so to me, when I thought of this shoot, I wanted to show this man who lived in a very white world as a black man, who got to where he is while supported by other black people. And this was when I thought I just having the silhouettes come in to help, prop him up, prop the picture up, and in a very white scenario as he stood out there. And this was really the concept of the shoot. And yeah, so he loved it. I think he seemed happy, so I think he loved it. I loved it.
Sorry to interrupt you, but there's this black square in the middle of your screen. I think that's the zoom.
Oh yeah, that's the zoom thing.
Yeah, maybe you could just minimize it. Yeah.
Then make it go
there we
away.
go. Now it's at the bottom. So it's always permanently there. It's okay. At least now I can see your other works as well. And this is for which magazine again? Vogue, is it?
So yeah, it got to Vogue, which was amazing because it wasn't because of me. It was because of his manager who knew the people in Vogue, and he said, "The pictures are amazing. You took a Billy Potter. Do you want to have them put in Vogue?" And I was like, yes."
Was that even a question?
Like, of course, sure.
Wow.
So, hada, and all of this because I sent emails.
And I think it's amazing because when I first saw this, I was like, oh, holy cow, you got Billy Potter on your Instagram. I mean, how? Boom. It's like, wow, Shavonne, awesome. Yeah.
And he was amazing to shoot. He is as big a character as he is when you see on screen. And I think this was one of I've shot a few celebrities, but this was obviously the biggest one I've shot, and he was so clearly different in the sense that when you shoot models, sometimes you know that this is just a blank canvas for you to work on. But when I shot Billy, it was just you are shooting a character, you're shooting a person with a very big personality. And every pose he did, every movement, every look he gave, it was him. Like there is something behind that. It was such a strong personality behind it. And also like the cool thing was he sang while during the shoot because there was music playing, so I got
he does that too in real life, huh?
So that was very, very cool. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, he's very well known for that. I mean, like we've seen him at some maybe gala events and things like that, and he'll just break out into song like he's a walking Disney character. I would say.
Well, I mean, he is a Broadway star, so there's that.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm so happy for you. I'm so excited for you that you actually managed to catch him in person and through emails. Wow, that's amazing.
It's 2020. Emails connect everybody now.
And I think you're very blessed, that you're able to catch him before this whole pandemic nonsense happened. It's a massive addition to your portfolio.
I am very, very thankful I did my New York trip last year.
Oh yeah.
If I had planned it for this year, there would have been nothing going on.
And I think it's just a matter of again, I wouldn't say luck, but a matter of persistence and determination on your part to keep on reaching out and knocking on doors. You know, don't expect anything, hoping for the best, and here you are. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would definitely recommend photographers to all do it. Like, it can be hard. It definitely can be hard to send out 200 emails, and in the morning you're like, I'm gonna get at least one reply, and then you open your inbox and there's nothing. It is hard, I get it, but you know, you really don't know where you can get with just asking, you know, just sending an email, just having a very polite introduction and asking for collaboration.
Yep.
So yeah, just do it.
I mean, it's quite interesting that you actually mentioned the word collaboration, because in some circles within the industry, they feel the word collaboration is a dirty word. You know, like it's basically another way of saying asking for free, right? But you seem to be very open about this idea of collaboration, and why is that so?
For me, collaboration is the best way to have a lot of work on your portfolio that shows who you are. Right. I mean, let's be honest, when you work with clients, they don't always help you get work that portrays you.
Yeah.
Because you are not the priority, like the client is priority.
Yep.
And so for me, actually on my portfolio, majority of the work is my own work, my collaborations with people. And I feel like that is the strongest way to have a style that I can put on my portfolio. And when people go to my website, they will then hire me for the style that I'm showing off for. I mean, you don't want to put up work that you don't want to be hired for, right? Because if you are a photographer that you love shooting food, but you also do event, and then you have a lot of event shots on your portfolio, you will probably get hired to do event shots too. But you want to get hired to do food. So for me, on my portfolio, the kind of work that I put up is the kind of work that I want to be hired for.
Yeah.
So that's why I do collaborations, because I want to make sure that I have a lot of say in some of these images to make sure these are work that I definitely will end up putting on my portfolio.
Yeah, that's good. That's a very good direction to have, because at the end of the day, it's advertising, right? You are really showcasing what you have in your skill set, that you can pull off certain looks and images, and I think you want the clients to see those. So collaboration actually helps to build up your portfolio. But I think it's also very important to note that you shouldn't get to the point where you'll be exploited by companies and brands. So just be very careful and be vigilant and diligent in your work, trying to find out more about who you are working with, etc., etc. I think this is very important as well.
Definitely, yes.
Yep. Okay, so you also write for F-Stoppers, and this is it. I have to say this. I enjoy reading your articles. In fact, among most of F-Stoppers right now these days, I look up for your articles most of the time. Whenever I have the time, basically. So how do you go about working for them? Is it again knocking on doors?
So it was interesting. I remember I was on the F-Stopper site, and I was just uploading some photos, because why not? And I got
They have the community page, yeah.
I got into one of their photographers of the month thing, which I did not even know, because nobody told me. I had a friend who actually had to send it to me to like, hey, look. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know. So that was interesting. And after that happened, I actually had someone from the F-Stoppers group email me asking me that, like, they said they like my work, and I used to have a blog then, so they asked me like, would you be interested to write for F-Stoppers? And during then I was feeling open. I was like, okay, I'll try. So I was like, okay, let's try it out. So I've been writing. To be honest, I have not been the most consistent writer.
Yeah, once in a while, but it's okay.
I've broken the deadline many times. But,
But I'm sure they understand, because you're primarily a photographer first, right? So
yeah, they seem a little understanding. So I probably shouldn't like risk that too much though.
Okay, could you share some of the articles that you've written previously for F-Stoppers?
Sure. So the thing about F-Stoppers, articles, the thing is, I don't actually like writing much.
But you do it so well though.
Yeah, but and usually what I end up doing is I would write a basis of the article. Oh look, see, that's me.
Yep.
F-Stoppers of the month.
Yeah, 2017. This was 3 years ago.
Yeah, so basically I will write an article, and then I will send it to my husband.
Yeah.
And then I was like, make it fancy. And then
So he'll vet through it for you. He's a proofreader.
Yeah, he will vet through it. He will make it sound a little more exciting and more entertaining to read. And then I submit it. So yeah, this is the kind of articles I do.
Yep.
So like most of the articles I have is basically how I shot this, or articles of how other photographers shot the images, because I feel like these are the most useful kind of information that I would have wished to know if I was starting out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like you will have images, you will have lighting setups, explanations on how I did the lighting, a bit of the post-processing, and basically just information that I would have wanted to get when I was starting out. Yeah, so
Yep.
this is the general gist of most of my articles.
Basically how you shoot, right? So this is
basically how I shoot stuff.
Yep.
So this was for Chriselle Lim when I did a cover for female.
Yep.
Same thing, you know, the pictures, the lighting setup, you know, basically the behind the scenes that, you know, people don't usually get to see.
Yep.
And the kind of things that I was Googling for when I was starting out.
Yeah, I think that's very cool of you to actually do this, because back when we all first started out, social media wasn't really much of a thing, and you know, the idea of sharing setups and all that is always, you know, among hushed whispers. Very, very hard to come across. Yeah.
But I feel like, you know, the more we share, the more we can all get good together. Like I think it's also very interesting because I got in contact with a lot of other photographers and got them to also share on how they started doing things. So like this was Simon who was very helpful in also sharing the same thing, you know, equipment list, lighting setup, a good look behind the scenes on how the campaign was done, basic information that isn't easily available on the web. So yeah, I feel like these are the kind of information that photographers should always share. Mainly just because like I know of photographers who are unwilling to share setups, and I'm always wondering why. Because if you came up with the lighting setup and you showed it to someone and someone else is able to do a better job, the fault is not with them, it's kind of with you.
Very well said. And because you know how it is with social media, now that you mentioned that, you know, there's other people, you know, having I would say different directions in terms of beliefs. Let's say for example your articles, and I'm pretty sure you've read about this, maybe not on your article but other people's articles perhaps. People who are opinionated, they have their own opinions about what you should do instead of what you have shared, you know, like they go like, oh, but you could have done it, da, 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 da. How do you feel about that?
I take feedback from the photographers whose portfolio I like. That's all.
That's a good answer.
That's all. Like if I don't like your portfolio and I don't like your work, I don't see a need to take your feedback as much.
That's a good answer, because I think for those viewing at home, if they are especially new photographers and you want to start and you know, get your feet wet, and then suddenly someone goes like, oh, you shouldn't do that, it can get very stifling, because you are here trying to explore your look, you're trying to find your own voice, but someone's telling you to adopt theirs instead, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I think what you say is very, very true. Yeah. So okay, we do have some comments here. Emily Flip says hi, she's sorry she's late. It's okay. Wesley Wong from Wesley Wong is from Malaysia. He's a ASO ambassador as well as Ilford Gallery printmaker and owner. Wow, I like that. Someone doing better than your style. Basically in reference to what you said earlier about following only those people who do the kind of look that you like and fancy, rather than why should I listen to you when I don't like your work? That kind of thing. Okay, we got some questions here. Mr. John Photo, did you edit all your own work yourself? I guess this is a reference to whether you have retouching artists working with you.
Majority of the time I do my own editing. I actually started retouching before I did photography.
Yep.
I've been using Photoshop since I was 14.
Wow.
Which is a long time ago.
It's okay, you're forever 21.
Long ago.
So long ago.
Yeah, I started using Photoshop since I was 14. I used it for digital painting. And then when I went to school, like poly, I used it for graphic design. And then when I moved to photography, it was a very easy transition to retouching. So I definitely do a lot of my own retouching, because I feel like the retouching side and color grading side really helps you finalize how the image will look, and which is important because it is your work. You want to be the one to do it. Having a good retoucher is of course very helpful, but expensive. So it
Buys
depends on
into your
how much
profits.
money you spend, I guess. But so for me, most of my work I actually do my own retouching.
Yep. And I noticed that you actually share your works openly in some groups and practice groups as well. You use some of his some of these plugins, Infinite Color Panel, I believe, if I'm not wrong.
Infinite Color Panel
really
too.
helps to get the look. For those at home, if you're wondering what is Infinite Color Panel, I'll share with you guys a link later on so that you guys can see for yourself how wonderful it is. Some of my photographer friends, including myself, also we have actually been using Infinite Color Panel because I'm not being paid to say this, by the way. I'm just saying it's really good. It's nice to have and use. It makes color grading so much easier, and the fact that you can get certain looks that you never thought of because it's very randomized sometimes, that makes things even more interesting. So I'll share with you guys the link later on as well. Okay, now let's talk about another evolution of your work, because just now we did see a small glimpse of living stills. This is something very unique. It's like an animated video, but it is not a video. It started from stills, right? And let's see where's there's one just now. I think there we go, living stills, a whole category of them, and I feel that this is how you make some of your shots look even more alive. You know, it's very interesting. You have got this motion and movement, like a very subtle one, like the earring, for example. Then the flowers. Okay, it's not a flower. Is it a flower?
Yeah, they are flowers.
Flowers.
They are exotic, interesting flowers.
Yeah. And it gives a little sense of depth to your images that is very unique. So, question is, how do you do this?
By not sleeping.
I love that answer, but I didn't expect that answer. But I love that answer.
It's hours of not sleeping and hours of facing the computer. That's how I do it. but okay. So basically, what happens is I take a still image. In Photoshop, I cut it out into different layers.
Yep.
Like separate the arms, the face, and everything, and then I bring them into After Effects and I move them all individually.
Alright, very very cool. I mean, like when I first saw this, I think I was on Instagram. I just went like, wow, holy shit, how do you do this? It really, I think the first one I saw is the one at the bottom left right now, the one with the glasses. It's very interesting. I was like, at first I honestly thought that it was a video shot, and then I realized that was the only motion, and I realized it was an animated still. And this is something that I've never seen done before. Maybe because in my limited capacity of surfing the net and all that, but this is the first time I see someone actually do this, and I feel that you're quite the trendsetter in this regard. And I think a lot of people are saying that, oh, like Wesley saying, I love this. This is a method that's used called cinematograph, and I think it's something that makes things very interesting by adding motion to your stills. And Emily Flip says, the lack of sleep is worth it, Shavonne. Yeah, I think
it's not exactly a cinematograph though, because like the way cinematograph works is you actually take a video, and then from the video you take certain parts of the image or the video itself, and you keep it still.
Yep.
And the other parts move. But for this one, the living stills, you are actually taking a single still image, and then you're making the still image move with the parts individually. So the way to do it is a bit different. Yeah.
And how do you do it? You okay to share with us?
So like in Photoshop, I cut them out into layers and then I throw them to After Effects and move them.
After Effects, okay.
Plus not sleeping.
That's not sleeping. So if you guys are at home right now, you want to try something out like this, maybe you can check out some of the available tutorials online on how to make this. And is it very difficult to step into After Effects and doing something like this?
Well, I mean, every software has a learning curve, but if you spend enough time with it, you kind of start to learn how to use it, I guess.
Yep. And you just get good.
Yeah, there's a learning curve to everything. You just have to decide to do it and then go on YouTube and watch tutorials until you know how to do it.
Yep. And quick question, what actually made you want to do this?
Well, I guess for me, I've always felt like I love still photography, but I do wonder about how long still photography will last into the future.
Yep.
I guess as you're looking through social media, you start to realize there's more videos happening. And when it's when I imagine the future with like spaceships and everything, all the billboards are all moving and stuff. You don't, at least I don't imagine still images in the future as much. So for me, I love photography. I love what I do, and I guess it's hard for me to give up my photography.
Yep.
And this was my way of blending my photography and video at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Very awesome. I already see this on a huge billboard, like those Blade Runner style, you know, like in the middle of the city, it just appear with some motion. I think it's really beautiful. Okay, so anyway, you have also directed some videos, and I'm gonna play something right now. I think this is for the Gian Vito Rossi collection, right? So, all right, just give me a sec. Okay, that was like in your face. So very commercial style, very advertising style, and all that. And I'm very sure that the way you executed this was different from how you executed photography shoots and stuff like that. So in terms of preparations and all that, how different it is in doing this kind of projects?
Well, it's definitely different in the sense that when you do photography, you kind of tell a story through a single image, but like with video, it is, the story is a bit different, and you kind of have to plan for every shot.
Yep.
You kind of plan for every second of the video of what you kind of want to do. So firstly, it meant coming up with a storyboard of how what's the opening scene like, like drawing like people running in, what is the idea behind it, and having all this drawings to show what the storyboard would end up looking like, which was terrible because my drawings were kind of funny. It was like, what is this? And I had to explain, this is actually legs, these are legs running. And you're like, okay, I kind of see it. So in the end, I had this drawn out storyboard, but I also made basically a video storyboard where I found clips of people doing kind of what I wanted, like opening the doors, and then it's the legs running and other scenes, and I actually compiled it into a video so that they could actually visually see what I was going for. So the planning was very different, so that you had to plan for every second, and of course there were times where we took extra cut shots that we put into the video, but for the planning of video, you always want to do above and more than what you might end up doing in what you might end up showing in the end video, because you want to always have extra cut scenes, extra this, extra that, just so that you have options if you want to do different edits and stuff. So yeah, it was fun, very fun. I got a really bad sunburn, but it was fun.
I think at the end of the day, when after all the work is done, you can actually see the execution itself, presented in one video clip, to show exactly what you've shot, all fully edited and all cleaned up, all color graded and all that. It's just something that you can be proud of. It's like, this is my baby.
It was fun shoot. I definitely enjoyed it. It was. I think going into video was definitely a bit different because you would have to kind of change how you think a little bit on planning, a bit on how you want to visualize it. So the learning curve in that sense was also a bit different, but it was a fun challenge and a good experience to have.
Yep. And speaking of you actually enjoying this and all that, would you say that video is something that you would like to pursue more of? I mean, just now you did share that you feel that in the future the world of videography and photography can be like a sort of like a, I would say synonymous, but more like they come together perhaps. Okay, would you say that this is something that you like to pursue more of?
Well, I guess I am a creative at the end. As long as I'm doing something creative, I think I'll be happy.
Yep.
But I don't think it has to always be photography. I think I'm always willing to try out different creative things, and if video is the next step to try out, I will be happy to try it out.
Yep. Awesome. Okay. So let's see. Someone has actually said something in the chat box. Let me see. Wesley says the other way around. Wow, no wonder you like sleep. Salute. Okay. Oh, sorry. Did I get your name right? Oh, sorry. NGJXX. Jigs, I guess. The moving stills are lovely. Before this stream, I looked through Shavonne's portfolio and seeing them were a pleasant surprise because I've never seen them elsewhere. So, testament to the unique look that you offer here with your living stills, I guess. The other Josh says, and do it and not sleep for a bit. Yep. That's why we all have these nice Prada and LVs. Okay, so let's take a look at one more video, and I think I see that there's a little bit more of further evolution taking place over here. This is Janice. Okay, hello. Wow, that was really awesome. It feels like there is a little bit more of a Shavonne Wong touch in that video compared to your previous video works. You know what I mean? It's like this is the direction you're going for. I can sense it. Maybe it's because this is, correct me if I'm wrong, this is a personal work, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
And the previous one was client work?
Yes.
Yeah,
She
can tell.
She was
Exactly.
fireworks, so it had to be more dependent on what they wanted. But for this one was interesting because I got to work with this other photographer, Zane. I think you mentioned his name of being online here, but I'm not sure if he still is.
Yes, yes.
So he was helping me out with the video side, and yeah, it's always fun doing video with him because like he's willing to also do anything I want.
Yeah. Zane is watching right now, by the way.
You see?
Yeah, I think that's
So,
him. Zainov. There's a Zane in the name, so I'm assuming that's Zane. And he just put a heart shape.
Yeah, that's Zane.
Oh, hi Zane. Welcome to the channel. Oh, you sneaky, come inside, never tell us, never say hi. Okay, so this look here, very artistic feel, very I would say gritty, very film-like look. The kind of art direction that you were going for in the final edit, was it more of Zane's or was it more of yours?
I think it was a big discussion on what we wanted to try to attempt, and the discussion went on for quite a bit actually. But the whole idea, the whole concept behind it was that I wanted to show off this beautiful model, but that she kind of has another side to her, which is the like slightly psycho side. So that's why you can see the like she's moving and she's very elegant, but like you see splices of like insanity in there.
Yep.
So I think it was part of the concept of how we wanted to show it off through the different scenes where she's just walking, but then as she walks through the pillars, there's spices of like insanity and back to normal. So yeah.
It's like storytelling all by itself, and there's no need for words, no need for what do you call that, commentary or voiceover or even script and dialogue. It's just there visually. You can sense, it's like a right there festering by itself, and then you just understand the flow. And I have to say this feels a little bit like I don't know if you heard of it. Love, Death, Sex and Robots on Netflix. It has that.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Perhaps this is where that idea and influence came from, and it just manifested itself into a video. I
Maybe.
love that series. It's fantastic.
I love the series. Yeah, yeah.
Did you-
I actually cosplayed one of the outfits when I was in New York for the
I
Comic-Con.
recall. You were the Hong Kong girl.
Yeah, from The Witness.
The Witness, yes. Oh my god, I love that particular episode. It's got so much depth to it. And I get the feeling that, you know, this is the kind of thing that you're going for, to tell a lot of stories in a short span of time. Just like Love, Death, Sex and Robots. It's like, you don't need a 1 hour show, you don't need a half an hour show, you just need that small little few minutes just to tell people this girl has got the elegant side and she's also got that other psycho side. So beware. Something like that.
I think that's the most interesting part, is just finding different ways to tell different stories. I mean, after photography for so long, and then you go into video, and then there's session video with like no words, but you don't want to just do a angle, nice pretty angles. You know, you want to keep a story, and then there's also short films where there's spoken word, and I think it's just so interesting how in the creative world there's just so many different ways to tell different stories.
Yep. And what would you tell photographers who want to go into videography, such as yourself?
Just do it lah.
Just love it. Just do it lah.
Just find people who can work with and just do it lah.
Yeah, I think most important thing is take the first step. And I know there are some viewers here who are trying out fashion photography. I know Shavonne is one of them. She just identified herself. I was trying to pronounce her name, A-MEZ-ING, and I realized that was Shavonne. Shavonne, I've seen her work before. It's very interesting, and you know, it just shows that if you just want to do something, you go for it, regardless of who tells you, no, this is not going to work out for you, no, this is not going to make the grade, this is not going to make the client happy, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, your personal work is yours. Just do it. And I love what Shavonne said. Just do it lah. You know, don't be scared.
Yeah. Singapore Nike, just do it lah.
Just do it lah. Yeah, we're gonna have to like put a tag to it with TM, you know, trademark it. It's
Exactly.
we can call it Nike lah.
Nike lah.
Okay, so let's go through some of the questions. I think there's some folks here who shared some questions. Okay, Yon Zizi asked, how do you deal with people stealing your images, if you have any works that were stolen before in the first place?
Well, I mean, you can never stop people. I don't think you can ever stop people. Just do it so well that's hard to steal, I guess, and do it better.
Actually, there's I'm not sure if you know about this, but it's been shared by F-Stoppers before, I believe. There's this website called Stolen Photography, I think, .com, and that's where people actually post photos or works that have been stolen by other photographers, and they actually show the original versus the stolen one in terms of concept, in terms of, or even worse still, they literally stole the entire portfolio and then claim it as their own. And it's quite funny, it's like a name and shame kind of ground. I don't really participate in this, but it's just good to know that there's something like this. So I guess at the end of the day, if anyone wants to steal your work, like what Shavonne said, you just can't stop it, you know. At the most you can send a cease and desist for using your work, but you know how it is, taking legal action can take some time and all that, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, like what Shavonne said also, no, if they can steal your work, the big question is, can they replicate your work? You know, that's important to understand as well. And I guess at the end of the day, the photography industry is very small, and if you play with the wrong kind of fire, you get burned. That's it, your career's gone. That's all there is to it. So for those people who want to steal your work, if you're tuning in right now, stop. Okay, so on to the next question. Let's see. Zane says, wow, nice video, of course. You shot it.
Good compliment, good compliment.
Yeah, good compliment, Zane. Own self, say own self. But yeah, it is a beautiful video, and I've said this before, Zane, your works are fantastic, especially the shots that you did overseas. Yeah, anyway, enjoy your glad cam. Hopefully you've put some use onto it. Yeah. Okay, so oh my gosh, Athner _ how do you pronounce your name? Athner? Okay, let's just call it Athner. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrongly. That was an amazing manifestation of the show. Loved it. Yep, I love it too. Wesley Wong asks, the bird, was it part of the concept? How do you choreograph it? I think he's referring to the Janus video, I suppose.
No.
Like, you did not hire the birds?
No, I didn't hire the bird. No, I think I got Zane to go run after the bird. And No lah, we were just lucky lah.
You guys should have like a behind the scenes of the behind the scenes. It'd be quite interesting. Yeah, I think it'd be quite funny.
Like the birds was flying around, you were like, oh, take a shot, and then we took a shot lah.
Again, just do it lah. You don't hesitate. You just do it. Yeah. So Zain, good job, man. The bird just happened to fly by.
Exactly.
Yeah. I remember that there was this shoot I did with oh gosh, what's the name? Crap, I suddenly forgot. One of the MTV VJs. Then we were trying to get the birds to come in. Denise, is it Denise something? Oh, my brain fart just now. I really can't remember the names. I'm so sorry. Dennis Keller. Holy cow. I'm so sorry. I totally forgot suddenly. But I was thinking about the birds. So, sorry, that came out wrong. I was thinking about how I work with the birds. Yeah. So anyway, we actually did this. It was quite funny. For those of you who want to try, working with birds, but please take note. Whatever things you put on the ground, make sure you clear it after. Okay. So we actually carry breadcrumbs and then just bring the birds to come to us, and that's how we did it. And then after that, when the time is right, we just watch them fly. Yeah, but sometimes it's just a matter of luck. If the bird is there, the bird is there. If the bird is not there, then well, no bird lah. But yeah, no bird. And then but sometimes you remember that old Visa ad, more birds, more luck. So if you have the birds, then good for you. Shavonne, I don't know if you remember that ad.
I think I do.
More birds, more luck. I always remember that. Yeah, so sometimes it just happens as you go shoot, and I guess Zain here was just observant, and you were also observant as a director, watching around your scenes, watching your surroundings, and seeing, hey, maybe that actually works. So, birds, here you go. Best Actor Award.
Yeah, I think sometimes you just have to be observant and be open to what your environment gives. I mean, like, let me show another example. I was doing the shoot when I was in Hong Kong, and we didn't really have as much time to recce, so we were just really walking around, and I would just shoot wherever I could see that seemed nice. Let's see if I upload. Yeah, so like this was, we were just taking the ferry. We were like, just the ferry looks nice, let's take a shot here, and we just did it. And here was like, oh, let's do it. And then a taxi went by. I was like, cool, let's take a few shots with the taxi. And the taxi, sometimes it just works. You just have to see what are the cool stuff in the environment and how you can work with it together to get the shot you need.
And I guess it really works because you actually shot the red taxi, which is an iconic part of Hong Kong. Just a small little bit, and you can tell, oh, Hong Kong, cosmopolitan HK,
Yeah,
very
exactly.
brilliant, very brilliant. And I also know that whenever you travel, you always seek out talents to work with and shoot, and that makes it even more interesting because for some of us Singaporean photographers especially, we just don't have that guts to go out there and shoot. And I just want to ask, how do you go about it? Do you have to worry about equipment and things like that, or you just do it lah?
You just do it lah.
Just bring a camera out, holiday, you know what, let's contact each other and then just go out and meet up somewhere with a model and just shoot.
Yeah, basically, like, so my husband understands now that whenever we go on holidays, I need one day to at least do a shoot. So I've done shoots in Stockholm, in Barcelona, some of them holidays when I was in Hong Kong, and basically what I always do is about 1 to 2 months before the trip itself, I will start blasting emails and messages to makeup artists, to stylists, to see who's interested to collab with. And once I get replies, we will start to decide on the models, and then we'll plan everything before I even land in the country. Get everything decided, who's the makeup artist, who's the stylist, and then I will also ask them for recommendations on locations because they know better than I do on where we can shoot, where can I bring my stuff to, and then we'll just plan accordingly. And then on the day of the shoot, I will just turn up with my cameras, and I'll probably only always have just my A1 and the umbrella and a reflector. And these are the three things that I will just, other than my camera lah, obviously, I will have my A1, go for the A1, my umbrella and my reflector, and we'll just shoot. Because the whole idea of being overseas is you want to make use of what's around in that country. And most of the time, these countries have very nice natural light already, so you just make use of that, and you maybe just pop A1 here and there just to light up the scene a bit more. But yeah, you don't want to waste the opportunity to work with talents that you would otherwise never get a chance to in places that you also otherwise would never get a chance to. So again, if you don't ask, you will never know who's willing to work with you.
Exactly. Love that. All right, so could you tell us a bit more about what your next project gonna be?
My next project, well, photography-wise, there isn't really much on the
Yeah,
horizon.
because of COVID-19, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's a bit sad. But you kind of have to do what you can. So right now, I've started doing a bit of 3D work.
3D work. Wow.
Yeah, so that I started doing 3D work mid-April last year.
Mhm.
Basically, once I started, that's all I've been doing every waking moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Could you share a
So-
little bit of any work in progress, perhaps?
Yes, I can. So I've been creating virtual models.
Virtual models, the next big thing. I think it's already a thing already.
Yeah. So, can you see it?
Oh yes, it looks a little bit like 11. Miley, what's her name? Millie Brown, is it or something?
Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh,
Millie Bobby Brown.
Wow, I have no idea. I'm so sorry. I just know her as 11 from Stranger Things. Has a little bit of a look there as well. So how?
Yeah. So she's a fully 3D model.
Ah.
And like I've also other models that I've been trying to create.
Mm.
So right now they are. So this is the most photorealistic I've gotten, which
Wow.
is I'm pretty happy with. But it's definitely harder with lighter skin tones. So I'm trying to achieve that too. But it is interesting.
I can't believe it. These are all 3D renderings. It's not real people.
No. they're
No
all fake.
way.
Yeah.
No way.
You
It's
can see
amazing.
my screen on my webcam now. Like,
Oh, let me enlarge it. Wow, that is something else. This
Like
is
this
a 3D software.
Yeah, so I'm using Blender now, but I've basically picked up like 6 softwares over the 1.5 months. It's been a lot of tutorials.
Wow, I think this is remarkable. I mean, like you can even post the virtual models.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Zig says this is like looks like how they created Alita. I think Alita is that anime inspired
sure.
kick-ass character. Forgot the premise of the story because I love the action scenes, but the story was a bit of a drag to me. But I love the action
Yeah,
scenes.
well, yeah, I quite like the story. It was predictable, but like
Yeah,
enjoyable.
it
I
felt
guess.
predictable. Okay, you know what will make the story better? If they remove the boyfriend.
Yeah, he's a bit weak.
He was a downer. I mean, like I don't mind the female empowerment because I really love that idea, but the boyfriend is like some side character that you don't need to have to complete the story. And Alita by herself is already a strong character. She doesn't need anything else to prop her up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was a bit weak.
Yeah, like not weak in character only, but weak in story.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true. That's true.
Well, but I love Alita. Otherwise, in terms of the feel, the look, the cyberpunk colors and all that, love it.
Yeah. Like it was a clear. Wow, look where technology is at now.
Yep. So this is, I would say this is hyper realistic. It's crazy. Kirithot asks, do you use Blender?
Yes. So currently I'm using Blender,
Mhm.
but it is also one of the few softwares that I've been using. So it's part of the workflow.
Right.
Yes.
And-
Pain in the ass to learn though. Like all the tutorials, the problem with Blender is their user interface keeps updating with each edition. So like all these tutorials that I was trying to follow have the older edition. So I'm like, I can't find any of the things they were pointing out in the tutorials. Bloody annoying.
Oh yeah.
But like,
But it looks like it worked out for you in the end because you kind of figured it out.
yeah, so like the darker skin tones are easier right now. It's the lighter skin tones that are a bit harder to work with. So like this is the girl I'm working on right now, but she still looks a bit cartoony, so I have to figure that out. Yeah.
Kind of like a testament to your always how to say hunger for evolution in your works. And let me ask you this: how did your previous shoot or edits actually contribute or influence these current 3D works?
Well, I mean, I would say my past in school, when I learned a bit of 3D then, was definitely helpful, even though my knowledge is a decade-year-old now, so it's not that useful, but a bit useful, I guess. And then my photography in terms of lighting has definitely helped in 3D. My fashion photography has helped in terms of aesthetic, I guess.
Yep.
And my Photoshop skills is intact, so I guess that will help when I have my renders done.
Yeah.
So I think all of them will play a part in how I render my future images, how my future photos will turn out.
And do you see this catching on? I mean, like right now, I think there's this ethical dilemma of sorts where they ask, should we just have virtual models or should we have models do the work or something like that? What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like, you know, technology is coming, whether you adapt to it or not. And if you don't adapt, you'll just be left behind.
Yep.
And yeah, so like there has been electronic cashiers and there's still cashiers, but like, you know, nobody's complaining about electronic cashiers now.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, technology would always, there will always be something new, there will always be something that can help, and there will always be something that could end up taking up some human jobs here and there. So I think it's up to people to realize that what they have is not eternal and that it is up to them to adapt, and it is not the burden of the world to wait for you.
Yeah. I completely agree as well. I think at the end of the day, it's either you go with the times or you get left behind.
Exactly. I mean, it's the same with film photography, right? Like film photographers, digital photographers, when digital first came out, the film was like, it won't last, it will never go there. But then now digital is everywhere. And like it's the same with the models, I think. I think with technology, as technology comes, things become easier and cheaper to do. I mean, for right now, people will say like, I don't think they will do 3D because it'll be too expensive to render everything. But eventually, like how computers used to be too expensive for each household, now everybody has a laptop, everybody has an iPhone, everybody has an iPad. You know, technology will make all of this eventually more accessible and easier for everybody to do, and it makes more sense to just be ahead of the curve when you can.
And I guess because of COVID-19, this has kind of accelerated the process further. I mean, like, would you say that because of COVID-19, you started to explore other avenues of medium for photography, like for example, in this case, 3D?
Yeah, definitely.
It's a catalyst,
I mean, like,
right?
If I sit here and tell you that I don't think COVID-19 will affect my industry, I'm just lying. Because my industry is fashion, it is luxury, it is fairly not essential.
I mean, yeah, compared to frontliners, you know, healthcare workers, even...
I mean, when compared to documentary photography is always needed because the world changes. You always need to have a way to document what is happening, what is the news, you know, what is the America doing, what is China doing. You have to have documentary photography. That's still an important thing. But like fashion photography, art, these are all luxury items that is only needed when people have the time and money and effort to spend on it. Yep.
And let's say right now, I mean, you did share a little bit about how your industry is almost like a luxury. In fact, it's come to the point where probably there's virtually zero demand for work right now at the moment because of COVID-19. I mean, perhaps it will change in the future, but that's only dependent on whether or not we can start going back to work in the first place. Yeah. Could you share a little bit about what other non-photography things and maybe some photography things that you share? I mean, just now you did share that you're doing 3D learning and things like that, but what about the non-photography stuff? What have you been up to during this time?
Okay. Well, for the last 1.5 months, all I've been doing is 3D non-stop, every waking moment. Before that, I played games. I was crocheting. I crocheted my cat's bed.
Oh. What? Is there anything that Shavonne Wong cannot do? You're so talented. You
Oops.
okay.
So bad at pointing the webcam though.
To your right. There we go.
Right.
Yep. And down. There we go. Oh, you made that. Amazing.
Yeah, so I learned crocheting.
Wait, did you make that out of old Army Air Force uniforms? Because that looks like the camel.
No, No, it's blue. It's baby blue.
Okay, because it looks suspiciously like the army Air Force uniform. Sorry, Air Force uniform.
Oh yeah, I can see that. But I mean, like, I started crocheting mainly just because I was getting very frustrated with how everything was. It was difficult. I mean, everybody was. Yeah, COVID-19 is generally difficult for everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, there was, everybody faces it differently. And for me, I picked up crochet because it was such repetitive, good, quiet thinking moments that it calms you down, and like you're using your brain, but you're not thinking about the hard things. And it was nice. It was very soothing. So I did it and made a bed for my cat.
Awesome. Okay, so what are your plans after COVID-19 is declared over? For example, like maybe the government says, COVID-19 is gone finally, like New Zealand like that. What would be your immediate plan?
Honestly, when you say COVID-19 is over, does it come with vaccine?
With a vaccine and a cure.
With a vaccine and a cure, I'll go
Best case scenario.
out to do my work and shoot and continue doing what I do, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But because that's so far in the future, it's a bit hard to predict.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I really don't foresee that future coming that soon. So I feel like I'm foreseeing. I feel like I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm really guessing what things will be like by then.
Okay, so if anyone is actually tuning in right now, happens to be maybe an assistant or a fashion stylist or things like that, or even a 3D modeler, all right? If they were to engage you in a project, what would be the criteria that you would look out for?
Like collaborate or what?
Yeah, like collaborations.
Oh, well, that they have good work also lah. Like, I have to like your work and see basically the way collaborations work is both parties have to see mutual benefits. Like, I would see that if I work with you, you will help me and I will help you.
Yep.
And it's the same with makeup artists. I feel like this makeup artist will help my portfolio and my work can help her. And with stylists also. So like, I guess it really depends on how good the work is and if I feel like it is. Because in the end, collaborations are most of the time free, right? So it has to be worth my time and effort in it. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna take some questions from the audience right now. If you got, for everyone, I love what you said. Otherwise, it's called charity. Yes, I agree. We're gonna take some questions right now, but while waiting for questions, I just do a little bit of shout out. Okay, so if you guys want to show support for this channel, you can always go through Razor Tip Stream. Right, there's a QR code down there. Or if you don't want to, leave tips or donations, it's okay. Just follow or subscribe to the channel. I stream on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. and Saturdays at 5 p.m. Singapore time. So again, this is one good way of you guys sharing the love for the channel. Maybe just by following, that's good enough. I'm happy to have you guys follow me, and you can actually be notified when we go online again in the future. So I'm just gonna play Jarvis, gonna tell you where you can donate. If not, it's all cool. In the meantime, we are taking some questions, so if you have any questions, just post them inside the chat box and I will relay them to Shavonne as well. And stay on because I do have some announcements to make. Just hang out for a while. I have something to talk to you guys a little bit about with regards to tomorrow's town hall meeting by the PPAS. In case some of you guys who are tuning in are photographers and you actually missed it, there's been some I hate to use this word, but there's been a setback, but this is something that is reality, and I would like you guys to be kept abreast of what's happening so we can actually move forward together as a photography industry and do it safely. Okay, so stand by for that as well. Again, taking questions right now. If anyone got any questions for Shavonne, this is the best time. All right. Kiri Todd F29 asks, can you give a quick rundown on your computer specs to do this kind of 3D work, Shavonne?
I don't really remember. My desktop is about 7 years old, but
wow.
I dropped a lot of money on it 7 years ago.
Is it a Mac or a Windows?
It's a Windows. I got it custom built when I was at Funan, so there's that. I guess that IT background came in somewhat helpful.
but how long does it take to render your work, roughly?
Oh my god, it really depends. Some renders, like the longer, the larger the image, the larger ones will take about 4 to 6 hours. So usually I'll render it and then go to bed.
Right.
Like the small ones for test renders will take sometimes half an hour. Yeah, so I spend a lot of time just watching Netflix.
Which one have you been watching so far? Recommend me some
God,
shows.
I've been recently watching this show on Netflix called Dynasty. It's such a soapy opera
Oh,
show.
man.
Like it's so family drama and so nonsense, but like
Is it Korean or what?
no, it's not Korean. It's
No?
like
Sounds.
it's
Oh wait, no.
American, but it's so
Okay.
soapy.
I
It's
just
so bad.
this is so embarrassing because when you say Dynasty, at the moment I thought was the zombie thing. I think that's another show at Kingdom.
Oh yeah, I watched that one
You
too.
watched that
I
one?
watched so much Netflix shows too. Yeah, it's embarrassing.
It's okay. I've been doing that also. I started watching Sherlock right now. Kind of enjoy it. Yeah, so good, so good. Benedict Cumberbatch. Forgot her name.
Yes, I love him.
Cumberbatch. Cabbage. Yeah, cabbage is such a cute word. I love the word cabbage. It just rolls off your tongue so nicely. Okay,
Yeah.
so Zig suspects your computer could be an Intel 4XXX 4000 series. I don't know. We are not so sure.
You could be right. I don't know.
Okay, anyone else got any questions? I know some folks out there who are tuning in right now could possibly be looking at avenues of going to the fashion photography industry. This is your best chance to ask an expert in the field, and anything to do with fashion photography, anything to do with beauty photography, this is your last chance to actually ask Shavonne. I mean, you can still ask her directly if you want, or on her F-Stopper article, but if you want to ask right now, this is actually a good opportunity. Okay, but anyway, since you guys seems to be enthralled by the answers and you're all saying Sherlock is amazing instead of asking questions, I'll just talk a little bit about what's going to happen in a couple of minutes. I will be talking about the PPS application for allowing photographers to work. And Shavonne, maybe I can just have you hang out for a while so you can actually know what's going on as well. Because tomorrow we're actually going to have a town hall meeting, and I will share with you the details in a bit. Okay, but right now still taking questions. If not, then I'll just hop on over. Shavonne, I'll just put you on minimize tab for a while. Just give me a sec. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. Right. Minimize. Okay, so just give me a sec. This thing is in a way. Alright, so for those of you guys who are tuning in right now, this is actually the PPS website, or the Professional Photographers Association Singapore website. Very good website for a lot of resources in the event that you want to start doing professional photography. But here is something that's very crucial that's happening tomorrow, and it's going to affect all of us. And it's not just for photographers in the industry. We're talking about makeup artists, stylists, assistants, crew member, digital tags, basically anyone and everyone who might find work within the photography industry. So right now, as you all know, we do have this thing called the lockdown, or sorry, circuit breaker. And the circuit breaker is being released as of yesterday, 1st of June. And as some of you guys probably know by now, various industries are given the green light based on a set of protocols that they have come up with to allow for certain industries to start work within which phase. And I think there are 4 phases and things like that. So tomorrow at between 2 to 4 p.m, in fact starting at 2 p.m, Wednesday 3rd of June, there's going to be a town hall meeting that's organized by the PPAS and hosted by Frame by Frame. So this meeting is very important because it's going to cover things like safety protocols and safe practices for photography professionals during COVID-19 period. And this actually concerns everyone in the industry. Just like I said before, if you're a stylist or a makeup artist, you will want to tune in. Okay, and basically we're going to talk about the importance of enacting safety protocols for the benefit of your clients and crew. We also want you guys to join the PPAS so that at the end of the day there will be an avenue for more voices, better ideas, and greater strength in numbers, because as an association, and this one is an official association, mind you, it is actually recognized by the government. We will work closely with the ministries so that we can have a say, in the way things are run. And I understand also completely that some folks will probably feel very wait, where'd the link go? Sorry about that. Let me find the link. I think it's on Facebook. Yes, okay, it's over here. So right now there is this article, or letter rather, that's going around by the PPS president, Kenneth Wong, Okay, so basically, long story short, the application to have our businesses resume operations on 2nd of June is unsuccessful. And this is not to be taken lightly, because it's not that, you know, we didn't try or anything like that, but the PPS has really put in a lot of effort trying to get the green light. But unfortunately, that is something that did not happen, and it is what it is. But ultimately, you must understand that the national public safety is of most paramount concern and takes precedence over everything else. Okay, we do not want to have everyone going into phase 1 and then suddenly we have a problem with wave 2, where we have a second wave of clusters forming, the virus spreading, things like that. And this is something very real, because it does cost life. So I really hope that you guys can join in as well. I'll put the link up in the link to the town hall meeting page on my chat box, so you guys can stay tuned for it. Okay, there we go. All right, so you guys can take a look at that as well. At the same time, now I need to address some of the questions that's coming in. Okay, Shavonne actually asked a question. Let me just bring up Shavonne again. There we go. Okay, so Shavonne, you're live right now. Favorite lighting setup by Shavonne?
You can see my F-Stoppers article. I use a lot of different lighting setups.
Yeah, so I think I'll just post the link to F-Stopper. Let me just pull fstoppers.com and just type in Shavonne's name, and you should be able to look through the articles that Shavonne has written. And I'm just gonna put it over here. There we go. Okay, so she does have a lot of articles that are already posted up. You can you can read them up. She's nice enough to actually provide some samples of how you actually set up the lights, and this is something that's very useful, I suppose, for a lot of photographers who are trying out flash lighting, for example. And I think it's really good to have at first the fundamentals right, then you can start experimenting with the layout that she's presented in the F-Stoppers, so you have a better understanding how to set up your lights and try it on your own. Okay, right, so I think that's pretty much it. There's no other questions. So anyway, Shavonne, do you have any advice to the audience? Any last words? Oh, not last words, final words for the episode.
Just do it lah.
Just do it lah. I love that, man. I think I'm gonna use that as a tagline, you know, from now on. Yeah. And I'll pay I'll pay some I'll credit you. I'll credit you.
Oh, I prefer to pay.
No. I'm also broke. That's why I'm doing live stream and telling people come tip and donate. So sad. But anyway, if you can, just somewhere there's this button that says follow. Just click on the follow button so you guys can keep being notified the next time I come online. Okay, speaking of coming online, wait, just kind of lost at the moment. 1 second. This window that I want to keep open is closed suddenly. I don't know why. Windows is like that, you know. It has its own mind somehow. And when you least expect it to, it'll just go like, hey A-MEZ, you know what? I have this friend called Murphy and I'm just gonna screw you over. Oh, speaking of Murphy, I have a question for you. How do you deal with setbacks on the set?
Keep a calm face and figure it out.
Figure it out. If let's say something really die cannot be figured out. I mean, like, I like the saying Singapore one. It's like really confirmed cannot make it already. Die cannot. What will you do? Let's say, for example, on a shoot and you require lights, for example, and then maybe something happened. There's a blackout or something like that. Because this did happen to some photographers before. They were shooting in a studio. I think this was the old studio where everything's all AC powered. There's no battery powered. So lights just died. Cannot carry on the shoot. What will you do?
Well, I guess it depends. Is it a client shoot?
Let's put it as client shoot.
If it's a client shoot, I think we will reschedule, I guess. I mean, the end results, they need to have images, and if they don't, they can't proceed. So we work the best way to provide them images.
I think at the end of the day, it's just to be calm and come up with a solution.
Yeah, just don't panic, because the second you panic, the client panics. And when clients panic, you're dead.
Yeah, man. I agree. Yeah, that's a very good answer. I think at the end of the day, just be professional.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's just being very calm and logical, and like basically just laying out what's happening, what are the facts, and because of this fact of what is happening, what are the solutions, provide the solutions. Don't just panic with them. Provide solutions of okay, if this has happened, what can we do? This is my solution A, solution B, and this is what happens if we do solution A, this is what happens if we do solution B, and then let them decide and go from there. Instead of everybody, I blame you, you blame me. You know, there's no steps forward. You have to be the one to provide. Okay, A doesn't work. These are steps B and step C. Choose what you want, and then we can proceed. At least go forward from there on.
Excellent, excellent. Very lovely answer. I really appreciate that. And Shavonne, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's been a very wonderful eye-opener looking into the world of beauty and fashion photography. For those of you viewing at home, stay tuned because I'm going to share with you guys what's going to happen in the next 2 episodes. I will share with you some of the upcoming guests as well. To Shavonne, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's really awesome to catch up with you again. We should do this again. Let's have coffee in Haji Lane one more time soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Anything that you feel what do you call it? You want to share or anything like that? Just PM me, and I'm more than happy to share. If you have another like something mind blowing that you want to share with the live stream viewers, just let me know, and I'm more than happy to host you again.
Okay, cool.
Okay, all right. Till then, do stay safe, take care of yourself. I'll see you when I see you.
Yes.
Oh, and I'll PM you the link to the town hall meeting tomorrow as well.
Yes, that
Yes,
too.
please register. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, for those of you tuning in at home, we do have upcoming guests as well, and like I said, Jarvis actually put on the chat box as well. We're gonna do live streaming for a long time. I'm not sure until when, but I'll try my best. Okay, so we do have upcoming guests, and I just realized I put it on the wrong window, so I'm just gonna drag them over slowly one by one like a mangkok. Okay, just give me a sec, guys. Okay, the next two guests are actually not from Singapore. They're gonna be all the way from Canada. So I really appreciate it if you guys could hit the follow button and follow us for the next one. Okay, so right now on the 6th of this should be 6th of June. Oh my gosh, why is the date wrong? That's so weird. Okay, so 6th of June, I'm gonna have Rain Robin joining me on the channel. Rain Robin is a digital artist as well as a photographer from Canada, and she is really awesome at what she does. Her works have been published in a lot of places, gone viral. It's really amazing what she can pull, and this lady has got a very feisty attitude. She's got a very awesome backstory as well. She started out with an accident, and I literally meant it as an accident. Okay, she got in an accident while she was on a bike, and she got rolled over by another vehicle while waiting for help, and somehow she managed to pick herself up and get back into photography. I mean, not literally, but rather figuratively, and get into the world of photography and becoming an iconic symbol within around the world. Okay, and of course, on the 9th of June, we're gonna have Shavonne Wong join us. Okay, very famous photographer from Canada, very well known for his environmental work as well, and commitment towards making a better world with his artwork. All right, so this is Shavonne Wong. I'm pretty sure you guys probably heard of him before. If you guys want to find out more about how shoots can go viral based on a simple message, do stay tuned for that. That's happening on the 9th of June on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Alright, so do stick around. I'll see you guys on those days. The one that's most important to take note of is I'm no longer streaming on Friday because I'm just tired. I need to have a longer break in between. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me again. It's been a wonderful evening spending the time with Shavonne. I hope you guys stay tuned for the upcoming episodes as well. And till next we meet, take care, stay safe, and keep on shooting. Alright, goodbye.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation.
On 3, 1, 2.